Like real talk, y'all out here wilding. It's crazy. I get it. You go out, you have a good time, you get lit, and you just get a crazy vibe with somebody. And it's like, yo, I like this person. And what's damaging is many of y'all, listen, I've seen the statistics. Many of y'all are going out there raw dog. And it's crazy because many of you do this stuff off of a one night stand. Like, why are you playing Russian roulette with your life? More importantly, why are you playing Russian roulette with your future?
Man, you are really encouraging me, motivating me, inspiring me. God is really using you to help me
What's
out.
going on, family? I want to welcome you to AOS, the podcast. I'm your host, Mr. AOS Inspires. This is what I need you to do. We're on every single platform, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I need you to go and subscribe and follow us right now. We drop content every single day that'll help you with your life, because our mission here at AOS, the podcast, is to empower the world to never give up, one conversation at a time, one interview at a time, one video at a time, to help you live life at the next level. I want you to live life on the next level. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that's watching this episode. This is going to be a dynamic episode. I need you to dive in. Do me a big favor. I need you to like, share, and comment. Don't be a stranger. I like comment with us. And this is what I need you also to do. I need you to copy this link right here on this podcast, this episode, and share it with at least 10 of your friends. I promise you it's going to help them out. Let's jump into the episode. Let go. What's going on, family? Welcome to another episode of AOS, the podcast. We got something like for real. Like, we're going to dive all the way deep in because, listen, you already know here at AOS Inspires, our mission is to empower the world to never give up. I want to empower y'all. I want to talk to y'all on today because too many of y'all, watch this, is living life on the edge. Like, many of y'all playing, y'all heard the intro, y'all playing Russian roulette with your life. You're playing Russian roulette with your future. But let's start with the life part. Now, the whole concept to this episode is I want you to be mindful. Like, it's so very important. I think that this is the number one topic that middle school and high school, not even middle school, and it's crazy because it starts in middle school, but I think that a lot of high school students need to hear this episode. So if you got some high school students that's sexually active, you need to run this link to them. Like, it's crazy because many people, like, I get it. You want to go out and have a good time. You know, whatever. I understand. Like, I'm the king of good time. Like, turn up. Let's go. Let's have fun. Right. But what bothers me is many people don't think in the midst of that good time, like, what can this do for my future? Or better yet, what could this do for my life? Like, how could this disrupt my life? And I get it. You see somebody, you see a girl, she fine, you know, she got all the right features that you like. You got a guy, right? Ladies, you see this guy, he got all the right features that you like, chiseled, look good, chocolate, light skin, white guy, whatever you into. You see this guy that you like, and you go out and you have a few drinks. You and the ladies, or you and the fellas, y'all have a few drinks, and you allow the drinks to overtake your decision-making skills. Many of y'all, listen, a lot of y'all are guilty for that. You'll go out, have a good time, drink, and at the end of the night, one night stand, bam. Right? Because I talked to one person before. This was years ago. Their baby's a little bit older now, baby like 14, 13 years old. So I was like, oh, dope. You about to have a child. Okay, cool. Y'all about to get married? Nah, it was like an accident. What you mean it was an accident? She was like, it was just an accident. Like, I didn't mean for this to happen. The Patron took over. I knew that I didn't like, and this is crazy. For many of y'all, you like, listen, I knew I wasn't attracted to this person. I knew I didn't like this person. I knew that we didn't have no compatibility, but that night was a dope night. Right. So I gave in to the very thing that I knew that I shouldn't have given into. And I want to highlight this for all of the fellas that's always looking for a good time. I want to highlight this for all the women that are always looking for a good time. I want to highlight for all those that go out and you allow the moment to take full control and full access of your mental and decision-making capacities. Because many of you make decisions on a whim. And it's crazy because when you make a decision on a whim, I tell people this all the time. When you make a decision, let's really be honest. When you make a decision, I need you to think about three things. How will this affect you personally now? How will this affect the people that's connected to you? More importantly, how will this affect my future? Those three things, I promise you, those like the mindset strategists and the tools that I use whenever I go speak at students, when I go to speak to students, when I go to speak to schools, or I speak to staff members, when I do trainings, whatever. Those are the three main approaches that I use when it comes down to decision making, right? Now, I truly believe this. We say this all the time. Let's dissect this part real fast. We say that a drunk mind really speaks a sober mind's what he really want to say. But he's not bold enough, so he gets that courage, that juice that gives him or her courage to say what they really want to say sober, but they don't say it while they're sober, they say it while they're drunk. Now, I believe that the decision that you make when you're drunk, a big percentage of it, you know what you're doing. Right? I mean, let's really be honest. Like, I've been drunk before, so I knew, right? And I'm not saying that. Okay. Let's pause here real fast because I already know some of y'all gonna get in the comments and kill me. But what about the people that black out? Now, I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the people that go through with the actions. It's crazy. Now, think about this. Let's really look at this. How is it that you don't know what you're doing, but you know how to do the act of what you're doing currently or what you're about to do? Let me get a little raw because y'all just acting like y'all don't understand. I get it. Y'all, I don't know. Y'all gonna look at me like, what are you talking about? You say that you don't know what you did last night, but when it was time to have sex, you knew how to do it. You knew how to take your clothes off. You knew how to take her clothes off. You knew what to do, how to do it, how to please, and how to get pleased. So if you're going on, family, I know that you're enjoying the episode, but I had to pause to ask you a quick question. Have you ever been through anything in life that was so life altering that it changed your life forever? I mean, have you ever been and had a job and you lost that job? I mean, your dream job, you lost that job for whatever reason. Maybe you're an entrepreneur. You started a business and the business started off great and then it seemed as if it was going downhill. And now you're at a place, you lost your marriage, you lost your children, you lost some major things in your life. And now you're at a place in life where you're like, hey, this is the end of the road. I don't see it getting better. I got news for you. It will get better. And I wrote a book just for you. It's entitled Winning After a Major Loss. You need to go and get your copy. Go to barnesandnoble.com, go to amazon.com, get your copy right now. Winning After a Major Loss. I promise you, it's going to change the trajectory of your life. It's going to change your mindset. Most importantly, it's going to change your heart about your situation because I promise you, you can win after a major loss. Go get your copy now. Barnes & Noble's, amazon.com. Order your copy now. Let's get back to the episode. How is it that you can say, I didn't know what I was doing? You knew what you was doing. You just allowed the moment to take over the decision or a good decision that you needed to make at the moment, right? Piss poor decision. Let's say it like that. It was a piss poor decision. Like, I need you to reevaluate that. As you reevaluate, I need you to really look at this thing like, who am I hanging with? Because, and a lot of people don't realize this, who you hang with and the things that you guys do plays a major role in what you will and what you won't do. Like, I like real talk, I need you to have friends. I need you to be connected to people that's going to hold you accountable. Right? Many of y'all don't want people. Like, let's really be honest. Like, y'all can be honest in the comments, and you don't even have to go in the comments. You can be honest to yourself. Most people don't like people that hold them accountable. And that's the type of people that you need around you. You need people that's going to hold you accountable. Nah, bro, we ain't doing that tonight. You married. Nah, bro, we ain't doing that tonight. You got a nice woman at the crib. Like, you got a girl. Or ladies, nah, sis, you ain't going that route. You got a good guy at home that take care of everything. Like, I'm being honest with you. And I understand you get to the place where your emotions run the best of you, right? But this is what I tell people. When you, in fact, have something that you really are working on, or a goal or aspiration or something that you want to accomplish in the future, you won't risk it all from a bad decision. It's a bar. Like, you're not going to risk. All right, let's look at this. You're not going to risk your future because of a moment of pleasure. Like, you won't do that. That's a fact. So I think that you will reevaluate before you make a decision of something that's going to alter your life currently, that's going to alter your future, it's going to alter the people that's around you, or the people that's connected to you, that has really sold and poured into you, or that has given financially to you, that has contributed to your development, that want to see you win. You're not going to do anything that's going to make you, lose it all, or come to a breaking point where you're like, listen, now my life is all jacked up because of one decision. Right. So it bothers me when people, and this is how I look at it. That's an excuse. When people say, oh, the alcohol, I didn't get it. Jamie Foxx made a hot song, triple platinum on that song, right? Blame it on the alcohol, blame it on the alcohol, blame it on the liquor. I get it. I understand. Blame it on the liquor. You want to find a escape route or exit route or excuse on why you did what you did. And the truth of the matter is you did what you did because you wanted to do what you did. Period. I tell people this all the time. Y'all gonna catch it in a minute. I tell people this all the time. When you do things that's out of line, or when you do things that's out of pocket, it's generally this equation when desirability meets availability. And the thing about it is, many of you are judging people that cheat on their woman or cheats on their guy. The thing about it is, maybe, just maybe, you fit in that category as well, but you just didn't have the opportunity. Desirability has to meet availability. Right? You got the desire, but the availability don't meet up. But this is what I tell people. Don't allow the availability to be available, or don't allow desirability to be available, right? Focus on what you have to accomplish, period. Like set a goal, set some goals, set some things that you're working towards that, listen, if I mess up, it's going to mess up this. Like, I'm trying to get to $1 million. I'm trying to get to $1 million evaluation. We're building currently an 8-figure podcast. I can't allow stupid, petty stuff to get in the way of that. Right? If it requires me to delete some people out of my life, I got to do what I got to do. If it requires me not to go certain places, I got to do what I got to do. If it requires me to stay up late nights and wake up early mornings, I got to do what I got to do. So when you have a goal, or you have something that you're working towards that you don't want to compromise, listen, you're not going to let a stupid moment get or interfere in your way of possibly losing it all. Now, let me tell you this before we move forward, because we're talking about how this can affect your life right now. We're talking about this, right? I've heard of stories, and I've talked to a few people. I talked to some people last week, right? And this in particular situation, it didn't ruin her life, but it ruined her moment, right? So what happened was, she had broke up with a boyfriend, and when she broke up, she got with a guy, and really didn't get with him. She was cool with the guy. They became good friends because she was lonely, he was lonely, and they began to vent to each other. And in the beginning, it didn't start off sexually, right? So I want to help somebody with this one, because it didn't start off sexually. So they were just talking and, venting to each other, talking to each other every day, being that crutch for one another, right? Like lifting each other's spirit every single day. Like, I know what you've been through. I know that you just been through a heartbreak. I know that you hurt. I know that you're damaged. I'm damaged. So let's just talk, which is not a good route. So I tell people it's not a good route, because you can't heal with the person that hasn't healed yet. Right. So that's a totally different episode. But they started to have sex, and when they started having sex, what happened was, he was the type of guy that would have sex with other women as well. So, she went to the doctor one day. She said she gets regular checkups. She went to the doctor and found out she has, I believe, chlamydia or herpes. No, not herpes. Chlamydia or syphilis, one or the other, right? She caught something from him. Right? She was like, this is my only partner that I've been with. I ain't like that. I ain't like that. I ain't fast like that. And, and I was just encouraging her that at least you didn't have AIDS. At least you didn't have something that you couldn't get rid of. Look on the bright side. But what I want to share with people, you have to think twice before you make a decision. I need to understand who you've been, like real talk. Many people got an issue with finding out a body count. I have no problem with, we talk about a body count. I have no problem with that, right? I believe that if a person is concerned about a body count that's important to them, I think that should be disclosed. Don't lie. They're going to find out some way, somehow. You're going to slip up. You're going to listen. My mom always told me about a lie. She said that when you tell one lie, you got to tell another lie to cover up the first lie that you told, because there's going to be another scenario that comes up that they ask you, and you're going to forget the first lie. So now you got to tell a second lie. Then you got to go back around and remember the first lie. So just tell the truth from the beginning, period. Just tell the truth. Like, listen, I've been with 100 women. And if they can accept that, cool. If they can't, it is what it is. At least you were honest up front, right? So this situation, it's a sad case, and it's sad that he breached her trust like that. But it had to happen. That's why I was sharing. It had to happen. But I'm doing this episode so it won't happen for you. I want you to be mindful of who you lay down with, because I'm talking about future, not future, but I'm talking about life right now. Messing with the wrong person can destroy your life currently. And when I say currently, I knew another lady years ago. I used to work with her years ago, just like over 10 years ago, right? So I'm telling y'all stories. I'm giving y'all the juice. She was married and she found her husband cheating, so they broke up, right? Really good friend of mine, right? Invited her to church and everything. She started going to church, and she broke up with her husband, and they were separated for a while. Then Valentine's Day come along. What happens is many of y'all get lonely around the holidays, or you get lonely around certain holidays, and you want to have that boo thing curled up and cuddled up, spooning with them, or you just want to spend some time. And that's what happened. Valentine's Day rolled around. She hadn't been with him for a couple months. I think it was like 7 months, right? And Valentine's Day came along. He ain't have nobody. She ain't had nobody. He bought some flowers by. Next thing you know, bam, she got clipped. She caught herpes. It's crazy, because oftentimes it's in those down moments, right? That's why I tell people, find something to focus on and focus on that. Will this work for everybody? No, but this will be the foundation so that you can get to some type of setup for yourself, so that you won't find yourself in these type of quagmires, right? So, but the whole essence of this is, be careful who you lay down with. I get it. I understand. You feel in the moment, especially if you're single, you feel in the moment like, yo, she fine or he fine. I'm like, let's go to the hotel. I get it. I understand. But you got to learn to control your emotions. You have to learn to control how you feel. Better yet, you have to learn to control your actions. If you can't control your actions, you will never have full control of your destiny. You'll never have full control of your future. You will never have full control of the things that you want to accomplish, because you don't control your actions, right? That's a big one. I need you to learn to control your actions. Asking me how to do it, learn on your own. Go to YouTube, type in, how do I control my actions? That's not my specialty. My specialty is mental. What's going on, family? I know that you're enjoying the episode, but I had to pause to ask you a quick question. Have you ever been through anything in life that was so life-altering that it changed your life forever? I mean, have you ever been and had a job and you lost that job? I mean, your dream job. You lost that job for whatever reason. Maybe you're an entrepreneur. You started a business, and the business started off great, and then it seemed as if it was going downhill. And now you're at a place, you lost your marriage, you lost your children, you lost some major things in your life. And now you're at a place in life where you're like, hey, this is the end of the road. I don't see it getting better. I got news for you. It will get better. And I wrote a book just for you. It's entitled Winning After a Major Loss. You need to go and get your copy. Go to barnesandnoble.com, go to amazon.com, get your copy right now. Winning After a Major Loss. I promise you, it's going to change the trajectory of your life. It's going to change your mindset. Most importantly, it's going to change your heart about your situation, because I promise you, you can win after a major loss. Go get your copy now. Barnes and Nobles, amazon.com. Order your copy now. Let's get back to the episode. I teach people how to train and how to change their mindset so that they can accomplish the very thing that they want to do. I can help you with your mindset to help you get on course so that you won't make silly and stupid decisions like this, right? But I want you to really adjust and think about, like, how can this mess up my future? Right? That's a totally different conversation, because messing up your life currently, like you can fix if it mess up your life, right? I'm talking about, when I say your life, I'm not talking about your totality of your life. I'm just talking about messing up your life currently. Like it pushes things back, puts you on a setback, it holds you back, right? But your future is a totally different thing. Like, you can catch something that you can't get rid of now, that's messing up your future. Catching syphilis, that's messing up your life currently, right? Because it's messing up your life, because now, if somebody asks you, yeah, I have had a disease, I'm cured now, but I did catch it one time. But if you catch something, that you can't get rid of, now we're talking about my future's messed up. And I'm gonna tell you what's even daunting, even harder to digest. When something messes up your future, when you had a decision not to allow it to happen. When you had a decision not to allow it to have, like, for example, having a one night stand, right? And the big part about this, is what the whole episode's about right here, is many of you don't understand that as a result of having a one night stand, children could be the result. And many of you find people, right, on a one night stand on a whim, right? She fine, he fine, and I'm feeling their vibe. I like the way they look, but I don't know nothing about them. That's the damaging part, because there's a big percentage of people that have had children by people that they had no clue who they were, what their family was about, their pedigree, nothing. They're broke, poor, rich, whatever, credit score, nothing. They didn't know. What is this? Is this the type of person that will build something and then just leave the responsibilities behind? I don't know, because I went off of vibe. I told you this a few episodes ago. Vibes mean nothing if it lacks substance. That's a fact. Vibes mean nothing if it lacks substance. If it doesn't have any substance, it does not have any validity. And that's the biggest thing that I want y'all to take away from this episode today. I hope this episode is helping y'all, because many people have children with people and it destroys their life and their future. You can have children with the wrong person. And I'm going to tell you this, before you have that one night stand with the person that you barely know, right? Think about this. You can have children with this person, and this person has some type of issue or spirit in the family that runs from generation to generation. And now this spirit is on your child, your offspring. And now you're like, why are they acting crazy? Because there was a generational curse on the family, or there was some type of spirit, right? Because this is the truth. I tell people all the time, I don't care how the dad is. I don't care how the mom is. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. That's a fact. There's going to be some traits, like, even if you don't like it, right? Like, you don't have to like it. It's true. There will be some traits of you that's similar to your parents. It may not be the same. It may not be identical. You may not operate the same way, but there's going to be some traits that's similar. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So before we get to that, let me unpack this real fast. Got to peel back this layer. This is what I tell people all the time. When you're dating, before you get super committed, spend some time with the family. Now, some of this information I've learned, I got wisdom years ago, and some of it I learned from trial and error, or I didn't do it, and now I learned. This is why I'm able to give it to y'all raw, give it to y'all like this, so you won't make the same mistake, right? Looking at other people's situations, they didn't spend time with the spouse's family, or you didn't see how they moved around their friends. Right. Now, some people, let's look at this. Some people get into situations where they pick correctly the first time. They find a woman or they find a guy, and it's just, they just got this feeling, and they were right. They got it right. They were an amazing person. Their life is great. Yeah, they have some ups and downs. Yeah, they have some arguments. Yeah, they have, some issues in a relationship, but it's nothing that is so life altering that it's like, I hate my life. I hate, no, it's not like that. So sometimes people pick correctly, even without meeting the family, even without spending good time with the family. But I tell you this, what's going on, family? I know that you're enjoying the episode, but I had to pause to ask you a quick question. Have you ever been through anything in life that was so life-altering that it changed your life forever? I mean, have you ever been and had a job and you lost that job? I mean, your dream job, you lost that job for whatever reason. Maybe you're an entrepreneur, you started a business, and the business started off great, and then it seemed as if it was going downhill. And now you're at a place, you lost your marriage, you lost your children, you lost some major things in your life. And now you're at a place in life where you're like, hey, this is the end of the road. I don't see it getting better. I got news for you. It will get better. And I wrote a book just for you. It's entitled Winning After a Major Loss. You need to go and get your copy. Go to barnesandnoble.com, go to amazon.com, get your copy right now. Winning After a Major Loss. I promise you, it's going to change the trajectory of your life. It's going to change your mindset. Most importantly, it's going to change your heart about your situation, because I promise you, you can win after a major loss. Go get your copy now. Barnes & Noble's, amazon.com. Order your copy now. Let's get back to the episode. Understand a person, spend time with their family. Because a person is going to fake the funk of who it is that they are. But the family, when they get around you for the first 30 minutes, they may act you know what I'm saying, they may act different. They may act, professional, or however you want to put it, however you want to dress it. The family's going to act for a good 30 minutes. But after that 30 minutes, they're going to be them. And some families, they don't act at all. They're going to be them from the get-go. Right? So you need that interaction. You need that exposure to see how is their family, because it's going to give you a good depiction of how they are as well. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. If they're financially literate, the person that you're with may not be as financially illiterate, but they're going to have some type of financial literacy, period. That's just how it's going to go. So it's a lot of people don't look at that. You're thinking, oh, I'm gonna just take care of my son. I'm gonna take care of my daughter. It is what it is. Or I'm gonna just take care of my kid. And no, it's not like that, because it takes two to parent. And this is the major thing that you got to understand. When you in fact have children, right, with the wrong person, you got to understand this. The child is going to be raised, especially when you don't know how the person that you have a child with works or rocks. This is what's going to happen. They're going to be raised, the child I'm talking about is going to be raised in two different households. They're going to be exposed to two different teachings. And it's not about religion. That's another layer to peel back too. It's not about religion, but the child is going to be exposed to two different types of teaching. One teaching tell them it's cool to do this. The other one's like, no, we don't do that. We cold gangster. Yeah, it's crazy. But a lot of y'all make stupid, silly decisions from a one-night stand because she got a wagon that she dragging, right? Or because he driving something foreign and you know what I mean? So you willing to risk it all for a moment of pleasure. And you don't really look at it because you're looking at his car and you don't know if it's rented. You don't know if it's homeboy car, if it's his mom car, you don't know. But you're making a decision off of presentation. This is why I tell people all the time, presentation is so important, because you only get one chance to make a first impression. One chance to make a first impression. Sometimes you can redeem yourself, sometimes you can't. But you got to be mindful about who you decide to listen. I don't care if you like, my whole intention is not to get pregnant, or my whole intention is not to knock her up. I'm just trying to smash and just trying to have a good time. There has been countless of people that said, listen, I just want to smash. And now the end result was a child. And you did no research about the person or how they are. You did no research on the person, on who are they? What do they like? What is their ambition? Do their goals match my goals? What is their credit score? How is their relationship with soap and water? How is their relationship with credit? How is their relationship with money? How is their relationship with their mom? How is their relationship with their dad? You didn't ask none of these questions. You just went in because they look good for the moment, smashed. Now the result, you have a child. Now you're going through hell for the next 18 years. Which it could have been prevented had you been like, you know what, Charlotte, let me go ahead and fall back. Let me go home and take a cold shower right quick, get myself together, get my continents together, because I'm about to make a decision that could alter your life and my life, but I want to make a wise decision in this moment. Many of y'all don't do that. Now, I'm not saying that everybody will be able to do that, but I want you to do this before you start stepping out having a good time, before you start stepping out having a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. I need you to practice self-control. Right. And this is the thing. Everybody has self-control. My son, right, when he was born, we decided, my oldest son, we decided that he's going to be vegan, and we went with it for a while, and that's all he would eat. It's crazy because we fed him, a vegan meal or a vegan lifestyle. And when it got time to introduce him to other foods, he wouldn't mess with it. If it wasn't no fruit, vegetables, he was cool on it. I'm good. As a matter of fact, my mom gave him candy for the first time. For the first time, he'd been hooked ever since, right? But this is the thing. He had self-control. I would give him listen, it's crazy. I would give him some junk food and I would give him some fruit. Every single time he'll go for the fruit and wouldn't mess with the junk food. No cap, right? But until he got he had self-control. Self-control. You could put it right there on the table and walk away and not sit there and watch him. And he will only eat the fruit, leave the junk food alone. But once he got a taste of that junk food, what happened was that self-control became more difficult and difficult and difficult and difficult. Even today, he's still really picky about what he eats. He's not vegan anymore. We're about to go back to being vegan, though. We got to. But He's picky about what he eats. He will not eat certain things, right? So that's the same thing with you all. You got to be disciplined, and you can be disciplined, right? Depending on what you feed your mind. What do you feed your heart? What do you feed your ears? What does your mouth say about the very thing that you want to do? Do you say, if you say stuff like this, "No, I can never do it," you would never do it. Henry Ford said something that changed my life. He said this: whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, either way, you're right. Listen, family, I hope that you're more mindful now of who you lay down with and possibly and potentially have children with, because it could destroy your life and it could destroy your future. I want you to protect your future. You're worth much more than that. Love you guys. Let go. Family, I want to say thank you for rocking with us during this episode. We have been so excited to drop this episode. I'm glad that you made it to the end. This is what I want you to do. If you have any takeaways from this episode, leave it in the comments. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear how you feel. I want to bring content to you that's relevant to you, that'll help you change your life, because you already know our mission here at AOS Inspires, AOS the podcast, is to empower the world to never give up, one conversation at a time, one interview at a time, one video at a time, to help you live life at the next level. This is what I need you to do. I need you to like, subscribe, share this episode. If it spoke to your life, share this episode with somebody. Why? Because you are connected to some people that we're not connected with. And with that connection together, we can empower the world to never give up. I'm Mr. AOS Inspires. This is AOS the podcast. I can't wait to see you next week. Just in case you didn't know, we drop every single week, 3 times a week. Mondays, 8 a.m., Wednesdays, 8 a.m., and Fridays, 8 a.m. You need to catch an episode. Matter of fact, catch all 3 episodes. It's going to be fire. I promise you it's going to help you doing your everyday life. It's going to help you get to the next level. Let's go.